I can guarantee that they're 100% organic and many other companies can't.
Okay.
That's theory,
that one black tahini oil, was it?
I mean, like so many essential oils talks I've been to previously always say how, you can't ingest essential oils in general.
Yeah.
So how is it?
Well, you didn't hear it from us, did you?
Well, none of this stuff is nothing that we're going to. Yeah, we've got to be careful we stay compliant too, because if I've got to put this on YouTube, it's got to stay compliant. So I need to explain this in what's the word that was used in the old times when someone explained something? Allegories and analogies? No, what's the word?
Yeah, it is an analogy.
An analogy? Or using a story to explain something else. So you've got to read between the lines, because I can't say those words, certain words. So, okay, back to the gearbox. If you've got a gearbox and you are starting off, you're sitting in a set of traffic lights in your nice, hotted up, brand new Ferrari, it's worth 300 grand, got plenty of power, 600 horsepower under the bonnet, and you're sitting there and you go, rum, 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 and you put it into which gear to take off?
First.
I'm going to now put it in 6. What's going to happen if I put my Ferrari into 6th gear at the traffic lights?
Badly ruin your gearbox.
Yeah, you'll try to take off and you'll be slipping the clutch and you won't actually go anywhere. Why? Because the ratio of the gear in gear 6 does not equal the ratio for that speed. And the speed is 0. Okay? If you were travelling at 180 or 200 kilometres an hour and you put it into 6th gear, that's a good ratio. Okay? So it totally depends on the speed at which you're going to which gear you select. Okay? So that's one analogy. The next one is, if I was playing a piano, I asked some really well-trained pianist to sit down and play Bach, one of his composers, and they knew it, they'd sit down and they would play the exact notes in correct ratio, in correct time, and you would know what the music was. Right? Now, somebody that doesn't know how to play Bach, the same piece, and he sits down, he knows the notes but doesn't know the timing. Okay, so he's sitting down and he's playing the notes at the right notes but the wrong timing. Are you going to understand what he's playing?
No, it sounds weird.
It's going to sound weird, but he's playing the right notes, right? Next thing is, you're going to get a child, he's going to come up, you're going to say, can you play Beethoven? Or Bach. The kid's going to look at you and go, yeah, I'd love to get on the piano and have a bang. He's going to stand up and go, I would. Bang, 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 bang. No, it's just, and you're going to go, shut up! That's annoying. Okay, 3 scenarios. Oh, good, thanks. First scenario was, the guy knew how to play the notes, he knew the timing, and he got out exactly, and you understood it as a person what he was playing. The next one was, he started to play, he knew the notes, but didn't know the timing. And you're sitting there scratching your head going, it's like someone saying the word hospital or the word hospital. Your emphasis is on the wrong side. What are you talking about, hospital? That's you, right?
Yeah, I got it too.
No, it's hospital. Yeah. I said hospital. No, it's not hospital. That sounds like something that the horse does. Right? So it's all about timing. Are you getting the picture?
So people who are actually ready to use essential oils internally will know.
Well, but there's another part. That is the energetic side, but there's a science side of this too. And this is where I need to draw this now. Can you see, Christy, the board?
Yeah, look up on the...
Yes. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Going in and out, but...
Okay. If I was... Okay, I'm going to draw... Have you seen the pianola pianos?
I was thinking about before.
Yeah, and they have on the wall on the piece of paper that's a roll. It goes from that's a roll. Right, that's the bottom roll, and it rolls up past a beam. This beam goes behind the paper. Okay, and there's air goes in, and there's little holes all the way through this beam. Do you know what I'm talking about, everybody? Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Kids
Now-
love it if you Google it.
What goes past the hole in the form of a hole in the paper denotes, emphasis on that, notes, what sound is going to come out of that piano. When that rolls down over that, that'll play, let's make an example, it's going to play E. And it's going to play it for 0.1 of a second. This one could be an A, it's going to play it for 2 seconds. Right, so you can imagine that roll there is called, I don't know, symphony,
In G.
okay, in G. And it might, or green sleeves or whatever. And that roll has to have these in exact positions, otherwise you've got no clue what that piece of paper is. Because if I pulled that piece of paper out and looked at it and unrolled it and went, what does that play? You're going to have no idea what that plays because you don't know how to read notes on a piece of paper with holes in it. Where if you take that and put it into a device that can read those holes exactly where they're supposed to read, it now makes sense. The human body is a reader. It is the mechanism, and the oil becomes the piece of paper, right? And your body knows, just like that piano knows, and your ears convert it to understand exactly what's written on this piece of paper here is the song that this device is going to play. If you move these anywhere at all, change even one, make that half the size, what's going to happen? Change the whole thing. And it's no longer symphony in G. But most of it, once it goes over that, you'll hear most of it. You go, oh yeah, okay, that was just a little glitch in the system. That's a mistake. And then further down, there might be another little one. But at the end of the day, it's not symphony G. It's like if you make a cake, if you leave out one ingredient, is it going to work? Fat chance. You leave out the amount of bicarb soda, or the right amount of coconut sugar, or the wrong amount of the egg, or the type of flour, cacao. You don't have what it was you were supposed to make in that recipe, and every woman knows that. Sorry, I got my back to you.
That's okay.
So when you are now producing an oil, I'm going to now relate the same thing. This, can you see that, is a GC analysis, a chart. And now I'm going to make these as well, because what is D-limonene?
And cancer.
I hear echoed.
Now I've got to go, beep, I've got to fit that out.
And lemon.
Yeah.
Limonene is a note. Limonene's a note. It's one of these little holes in the paper, right? It's a note. And we know that different constituents are notes, like linalool in lavender is a note. Linalool acetate is a note. Phenols is a note, right? So your oil, if you're making, so looking at frankincense, no, frankincense. In frankincense, there could be, now I'm only guessing here, just imagine there's 250 notes. Like I said, I don't know, I can't in my mind know how many's in frankincense, so don't quote me, anybody. You just have a look in the chemistry book to find how many notes. Like clary sage is over 900 notes. Lavender's got about 350 odd notes. So frankincense would have its amount of notes, right? And the limonene part is one of those notes in frankincense. So that would relate to this one. So if I'm now going to distill it, what they do when they do a GC, they will measure. That's how many of that note is in the frankincense. That is how many of that note there is.
Do you all know what
That
a
one's-
GC is?
Do you want me to show what a GC is?
It's
A
an
basic
analysis
example.
color. Yeah.
What it is imagine a microwave oven sitting here, but it's not a microwave. It looks like a microwave, and inside you've got a coil of copper. Goes round and round and round and round and round and round and round, keeps going round and round and round. And if I looked at that bit of copper and looked up its tube, it would actually be hollow. Like it's really thin. It's almost a bit thicker than a human hair. Yeah, could be, yeah. But it's hollow. So what they do, they heat this chamber up and they send the vapours of the oil in through these little channels, these little holes. And they run around here and they come out the end and they're actually measuring how long it takes for each individual note to go through it. And that gives you the volatility or the speed at which how long it takes, and if it's a dense note, a heavy note, a light note, a soprano, or whatever. Okay, so that's what these are, and so these you get the ratios just like this piece of paper. So now imagine putting 350 of these along here, and now what happens? These then become a signature of what frankincense looks like an oscilloscope. So now, if you get these ratios correct, you can superimpose that onto the next one you're doing and go, okay, is this correct or is it not? Now, that's only one test. They do two other tests as well, right? So you're checking the rotation, the collar rotation, and a few other things that they need to test to make sure that everything is in perfect order. Now, if you can... Oh, we're going to wind up already. My whiteboard talks to me. It's telling me I've got to wind up. I'm hearing voices. So can you see now how that signature is similar to this paper? If you move that in any way, shape or form, by the way, the perfume industry, they're only interested in about 4 or 5 notes. Where's the rest of them? Imagine playing this piece, Symphony G, and only playing half the role. What are you going to hear? You wouldn't have a clue what you're listening to. The body energetically reads all of these because your body is this device, part of the piano. Your body is the piano. The oil becomes this sheet, and your body's reading the energies, the vibrations of the oils. If you don't get them right, your body's never not looking. It understands because it's reading it in the energy. That's why when you pick up an oil, and I can't find it. Imagine that's a mobile phone, and you do the muscle test. You hold the phone here, and you do the muscle test, and your body's weak because of the energy coming out of the phone. It's actually breaking down the waves that are actually emitted from this object. And then when I put an oil here and you test your arm, the waves coming out of here are in the perfect ratio. It actually builds the body system up. And the convergence of waveforms are actually in coherence to the body. Where the convergence of waveforms coming out of this is an incoherence. And if you we've done this with other oils. We've given people other oils and they hold them. And the waves aren't correct. And they crash the waveform. And they're weak. Same with the chemicals of your deodorant, your toothpaste, your shampoo, your conditioners, your perfumes, and everything that people are using. It's actually causing the waves that are coming out of here, which is another subject for another time. They're emitted from everything, emits a vibration, and your body feels it. So your body's reading the vibration, which is this. You upset that analysis and you change the amount of object or components that are coming out, or notes that are coming out of your distillation, you've now got a synthetic oil. If I was to use, if this was, this is thieves, but if I was holding frankincense, and I moved or changed one of these, if that was where it was, and it's now down there, I've now got a synthetic frankincense, or a frankincense that doesn't have the correct notes. So therefore the body isn't reading it properly. You now don't understand the song.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, who's going to go to these lengths? No oil company will bother doing these lengths because they don't do what Young Living does with oils, and we can't even tell you what they do with oils, or what some people do with oils, because it's not compliant anymore.
Mm.
Read between the lines, people. Stop asking questions. Work it out yourself,
It's next door, baby.
because the more we work it out ourselves, the more compliant we stay, and we don't encroach on other people's who are wanting to bring you down. Use this as your chart and your understanding, and carry on and be strong with what you believe.
Amazing. I don't really Sorry. Thank you.
That's the end of the talk.
Okay, that was it. That's all we had time for.
Essential oil-bearing plant species found in every country, climate, and ecosystem of the globe. Each plant species possesses its own unique aroma. Young Living utilizes steam distillation to extract the essential oil from aromatic plants. Essential oils are authenticated by GCMS analysis. Each group of molecules is identified by name and counted. In general, the higher the stack of molecules, the higher the percentage of that molecule in the essential oil. Young Living utilizes state-of-the-art GCMS instruments to guarantee its seed-to-seal promise. Essential oils must meet a combination of international standards and validated published research. Low-quality, perfume-grade essential oils may contain synthetic chemicals to enhance their aroma. The GCMS can separate and identify synthetic aroma-enhancing chemicals intentionally added to natural essential oils. In this example, 2 synthetic chemicals were added to an essential oil to enhance its aroma. These synthetic aroma-enhancing chemicals are not natural and may be harmful to the body and mind. This demonstrates how the GCMS is a vital instrument in verifying the genuine nature of essential oils. Young Living employs cutting-edge technology, experienced research scientists, and international standards to authenticate each essential oil in their exclusive collection.